Hey guys, it's Ginele here. Welcome to my channel. I'm a mother to a soon-to-be 1-year-old boy. Puppy! A soon-to-be 1-year-old boy. He's gonna be 1 year old next week. And this video, as you guys can tell from the title, is gonna be about my breastfeeding mistakes. I've been breastfeeding my baby for this whole year since he was born. Well, not 100%, but I'll get into that. This is a really important video for, oh, here he comes. He's making his debut. I think that this is a really important video for new moms, women that are planning on breastfeeding. I just think that it's good for you guys to know, so you guys don't make the same mistakes that I made. So I wrote them down and let's start. I'm gonna read it to you guys. So my first mistake that I made was not doing research while I was pregnant. When I was about, I want to say 7 months, my breast started leaking, and I was like, oh, okay, that's good, because I want to breastfeed. I always thought in the back of my mind that I wanted to breastfeed, but I didn't do any research about breastfeeding. I just kind of figured, oh yeah, I'll just breastfeed my baby, like no big deal. It is a big deal, now I know, but I never really thought much about it. I was more thinking about, I had a bunch of other stuff that I was dealing with while I was pregnant. If you guys have questions about that, or you guys want to hear story times about my pregnancy, you guys can comment that down below. But I wasn't really worried about or I didn't really think that it was important to educate myself on breastfeeding, and I wish that I would have done more of that. Now that I'm a breastfeeding mom, I'm like, well, how the heck didn't you think that was important? That's the first mistake that I made. Number two was not taking advantage of the lactation specialist. I was offered a lactation specialist, but I didn't really care, I guess. I had a C-section, I had an emergency C-section, and I didn't really care to speak to anybody. I was in a lot of pain, I was drugged up, and my baby wasn't with me. He was in the NICU, and mentally not being with my baby was hard for me. However, I wish that I would have spoken to that lactation specialist, just because once I got home, there were a lot of questions that I had. I didn't get to do what a lot of mothers do, which is watch their baby as soon as they give birth. I couldn't do that. My baby wasn't even handed to me as soon as I gave birth. It was C-section, so I actually had to wait 2 hours later to hold my baby. So, he was in the NICU and he was drinking formula. I would pump some and I would give them some to give him, but the first 2 days, I want to say, I was in there for 4 days. The first 2 days, I didn't give them any milk or even think about breastfeeding or anything like that. It wasn't until, I started to feel a little bit better that I started to send them milk. So he was drinking formula for the first 2 days. Once I got home, that caused, latching issues. My nipples were inverted. You'll find a lot of mothers have trouble with that. So what I did for that was I used a nipple shield. I was struggling with the inverted nipple. It was hard, it was uncomfortable. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to give him the formula. It was my husband who actually really pushed me to continue to breastfeed. And he reminds me of the importance of it, and how nutritionally and like for his growth and just like developmentally, like that's the best thing for him. I also thought to myself, like, if I have the ability to breastfeed my son, which I know that so many mothers don't, like I should take advantage of that. The best thing for him. And yeah, so I just wish that I would have had more knowledge on it. And I think that if I would have spoken to her and asked questions and allowed for her to come and have a conversation with me, I think that I would have, had a better experience breastfeeding in the beginning, and it wouldn't have been so hard. But, you live and you learn. And so that brings me into mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 was not giving my baby the bottle enough, or at all, to be very honest. So 2020 has been a crazy year. We all know and have felt, what it is to be in quarantine through this whole COVID-19 mess. I got comfortable while I was here. It's so convenient to breastfeed when you're home. You don't have to get a bottle ready. It's right here. So it's a blessing to be able to feed your baby from your body. It really is. You don't have to get up at night to make a bottle. For me, I co-sleep because I'm a breastfeeding mom. I noticed a lot of breastfeeding moms co-sleep because it's just easier. So that's what I did while I was in quarantine. I believe I was in here for 3 months, and that's what was most convenient for me and my baby. I didn't think about a bottle. Now that we're post-quarantine, I have definitely seen how that was a mistake. I can't leave my baby anywhere for more than 2 hours. He refuses a bottle. He doesn't even know what a bottle is. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend for you breastfeeding moms to also give your baby a bottle just once a day, you know, just so that they're accustomed to a bottle. It's important now, you know, that things are open back up. I'm still young, like I said, I'm 23. I'm definitely am very restricted to what I could do. I can't really do much without him. He has to be with me all the time. I can't leave him, like I said, for more than 2 hours. He won't drink from the bottle. So that is probably the most important out of the mistakes that I made that I really would like for you guys to not make. So please give your babies a bottle. Number 4, not drinking or eating enough. Doctors recommend that breastfeeding moms should eat 500 extra calories a day. So if you were eating 1,500 calories before, you should be eating 2,000 calories now. As a mom, and I'm pretty sure all moms can agree with this, you lose time. Like, you're not even worried about eating. What? You're not even worried about eating half the time. Like, you are worried about cleaning, getting a shower when you can, taking a nap when baby naps. Like, it's so much that comes with breastfeeding. It's also very draining that you forget to eat, and that is part of the reason why I found myself feeling so drained and getting a lot of headaches. So with all that being said, just make sure that you guys are eating. Take time for yourself. Ask your man, ask anyone who can help you. If you don't have anyone to help you, when your baby's napping, just make sure that you're feeding yourself. Or at night, if you have to eat late, as long you just need to feed yourself. If you're breastfeeding, you know, your baby's pulling a lot from you. We're taking a lot of nutrients. They're taking, you know, they're living off of your body up until they start eating solids and stuff. But, you know, like, that's a lot coming out of you. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself too. I know that it's exhausting, but just try. And that brings me to number 5. Number 5 is not switching sides that you feed your baby on. Not switching the breast. This is such an annoying mistake that I made. One of my boobs is so much bigger than the other one. Or it was. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, it was so much bigger. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Like, it looks crazy when I wear like low cut shirts. Right now, I'm trying to fix that. I'm still in the process, but it's getting better. So what I've been doing is every time I feed him, I make sure that I feed him from the smaller side first. Because when they first go to pull the babies, they pull really strong because they're really hungry. So if you give them that side first, then they're pulling so much stronger on that side that it's gonna help with the milk. It's gonna help the milk build up on that side. So it's working. So if you're in that same situation, I recommend that you do that. Every time you're gonna go to feed, make sure you give them that side first. Every time, not every other time. Every time, make sure you give them that side first. If they're still hungry after that side and they're struggling, then you can give them the other side. But make sure to start on the lesser side. And within a couple weeks, it should go back to normal. So with that being said, that is the 5 mistakes I made breastfeeding. And I hope that you guys learned a lot. And I hope that you guys don't make the same mistakes. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.